So you finally got your grubby hands on a Hyperion. God knows how you got it, but that isn't the point. And so you're probably watching this video to ask, what should I do next? You're not really sure what you should do with the Hyperion and where you should go from that point. And so I'm here to make this video and to tell you what you should do when you first get a Hyperion. So I think it wouldn't be wrong to say that the Hyperion is one of the strongest right-click mage weapon in the game. And so I have mine, and it isn't completely maxed out, but I would say that it is usable. And so I think the first thing that if you are crafting Hyperion like a base one, what you should do is get these enchants first. So the one I recommend that you at least try to get first, and that's kind of expensive, is Champion. So the way the Champion enchant works is that for every like for each like tier, you have to get a certain amount of combat EXP. And so what Champion does is that it increases the amount of EXP and coins you get. And so it's like a progression, like tier-based enchant. So you want to get it early so that when you do have a Hyperion and use it, you also level up Champion as it goes on. So also some really cheap enchants that you should get that are above the base enchantment table is Critical 6 for the Wither Shield. I would also get Giant Killer 6 for the damage, Luck 6, and Looting 4 because they're all very cheap. I would also get Smite 6 because Sharpness does not work on this sword because it's like not based on melee hitting but on the ability damage since you are using the Hyperion for that. And so I would recommend Heroic. I've seen others run Suspicious and I haven't run it yet, but it's also for the Wither Shield. But I prefer the Intelligence just because my intelligence isn't that high. And yeah, so in regards to enchantments, right, for the Hyperion and asking like which ones work, which ones don't. And so I would say that the ones that do work that I know for 100% fact are Cubism. Well, like based on the ones I have here, it would be Cubism, Ender Slayer, Impaling, Looting, Luck, Prosecute, Smite, Vampirism, and yeah, that's it. The other ones would be for melee hitting. I have them on because it just looks nicer. But when you're asking about the ones that actually do damage, it's just those. Because the damage is only based on its ability, and you won't really be right-clicking or left-clicking on a Hyperion. That's also the reason why I don't have fumings on this, is because I don't really use right-click on it. So, I'm not, I mean, it's not that much, but I wouldn't waste the, like, 6 million just to not use it. Also, don't forget to star and recom your Hyperion because it does increase the modifiers for the intelligence and the base stats, so that is pretty important. Now, the other thing that I would do when I get a Hyperion is enter the Crimson Isles. So, essentially, the Crimson Isle is kind of blocked until you get strong mage weapons. I've seen Spirit Scepter and Voodoo Doll use, but it just isn't very efficient. And so with the Hyperion, you can do up to 1,000,000 damage, which essentially is enough to take out most of the mobs here, and help you start the mini bosses. Although some of the mini bosses here do require like a bit of skill, but for most part, right, you can kind of just go here and just start blasting these guys, like this guy. I'm still not strong enough yet to one-shot these. I'm working on it. I haven't really done the Crimson Isle that much yet, but once you do get a Hyperion, I do also recommend you go to Kuudra. And so I'm saying that you're going here not just to profit, but you're going here for the bestiary. So when I first did Kuudra, my first time, I literally skipped. I went up like 50 something like bestiary. Just unlock. I went up here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. For the bestiary, right? There's a section on literally just Kuudra, and if you do it one time, you get most of these up to like 5. And so I skipped like a whole section. Yeah, why am I getting? Yeah, what's going on? But yeah, I skipped an entire section, and I got a free level up, which also helps on Champion, just as another advice. So yeah, I would do L and get to Kuudra. So when you do get strong enough to get to Kuudra, you don't have to go through the, trashy like quests and stuff. And there's videos on it. It's a very easy quest as long as you just go on YouTube, watch the videos. But yeah. Now, I'm not 100% sure how you ended up getting your grubby hands on this Hyperion, But I do recommend that if you do have one and you're looking for a money making method because you might have been, luck carried or whatever, I would say that you're strong enough definitely to get, um, or definitely strong enough to become a dungeon carry. So I guess the main thing that's nice about dungeons is that, people can see what weapon you have, and so, well, with the right mods, I guess. But you can essentially start doing floor 7, as a mage. And this is mainly because a lot of people look for hype mages just because it's a faster clear and you can go to blood room a lot easier. But the other thing about the Hyperion that's nice is that you can carry. So it is such a strong weapon that I feel like you could do floors 1 through 5, which I can carry pretty easily. Floor 6 I do have some struggles on, but it's also still very doable. And so if you need any money, you can always just offer a carry, which a lot of people are willing to pay for just because not everyone wants to grind through dungeons and they just want to get it through a lot quicker than the normal way, which, I mean, more power to you. All right, so one thing that I would like to mention for Hyperions is the fact that, you know, when you play on the main mode that Hypixel was made in, so 1.8.9, they have a guard mechanic where if you right click with a sword, it like does a guard. But the thing about the versions that are past 1.9 um is that they remove the guard mechanic. And so when you right click something, and it's a little loud, so I'm gonna turn it down. Like, yeah. So when you right click, you can hold it. And so you're probably wondering, like, what's the point of that? Like, and for me, the reason why I even play mage is because it isn't hard on my hands. And so when you like melee, you have to like spam click. And with the Hyperion, if you want to, go really quickly, you have to spam click. And my main point is I don't really want to do that. And so I play on 1.12.2. Not all the time because a lot of the mods are only for 1.8.9. But if I'm ever like feeling lazy and I want to do like a really easy dungeon clear on a low floor, or I'm just trying to like farm stuff with my Hyperion, I will go on version 1.12.2. And the reason I specifically choose that version is because, at least for Lunar Client, there's less like issues. With the other versions, like I often crash sometimes. Um, and I don't know if it's a version issue, but I don't have the time to really sit there and test it. So I found that this version is the most, efficient and least crashy for me. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you want to be able to hold the Hyperion instead of just click, 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 which hurts my fingers because I'm getting old. So the last thing I'd say, for any hype users is understanding where you go from here. So after you get a Hyperion, right? I would say, the first thing after the Kuudra, like event and stuff, is just trying to get your other skills up. Now, the reason I say this is because when doing Kuudra, you will need to have a lot better gear. And so, as someone who has pretty mid gear, where I only have like, Recom Storm, and my magic power is like 500, it's not really good enough to join any of the higher tier Kuudra parties. And if you do ever get to the point where you can do Kuudra, you'll realize that there's a lot of combat requirement. Like I'm at combat like 30, 32. And like a lot of the parties on there, like I've seen people require combat like 45, 50. I'm sitting here like, bro, I can't even do that. And this is for like the lowest tier of Kuudra. Maybe I'm just looking at the weird, like the wrong thing, but like I wasn't even able to join. And I also don't really understand the mechanics of Kuudra. I just went there for the bestiary. But I think, I think I'm not at the point where I'm able to do Kuudra very well, which is why I focus on other skills and focus on getting money because right now talismans and skills are more important to me than starting off and trying to get as much profit from Kuudra. Now, I'm not sure if that's the ideal route, but that's where I would take it for myself, just because, at least from personal experience and what I saw. But yeah, I think it's very cool that if you're watching this and you have Hyperion, then props to you because when I got mine, it was, I mean, you know, I only use this now. But if you don't and you're watching this and you're bored, then bruh, keep hustling because we all start somewhere. But yeah, if you like this video, leave a sub, and I'll see you guys in the next Skyblock video. So you're only seeing this if you made it to the end of the video, which I do appreciate it. It means, you know, either you just forgot the video is on or you were watching intently, which I'll be honest, I wouldn't, because my attention span is just, you know, it's ruined. But besides that, you know, if you can, leave a sub. If you like the video, you should probably leave a like also, but if you didn't, then, you know, leave a comment, tell me why. You should probably still subscribe because, you know, I do read all the comments since I am a small subscriber, and, what am I saying, small subscriber, bruh. I'm a small YouTuber, and I will read everything, so yeah, just tell me what you think, and if there's anything you'd like me to know, I'll definitely read it. But yeah, I mean, you can tell I do it's all in one take, but I'll see you guys in the next video.